Hi friends, in this video we'll be learning about class 10 science chapter 1, which is nothing but chemical reaction and equations. Now here under this let us define the definition of chemical reaction. Here it says whenever a chemical change occurs we can say that a chemical reaction, that is nothing but a permanent change, has taken place, which can be expressed symbolically by a chemical equation. For example, food gets digested in our body. That is one of the example of chemical reaction which is happening naturally. Now again one more, rusting of iron. Now when this iron is exposed to air or water, it gets rusted, which undergoes a chemical reaction. Another example we have which says magnesium is burnt in air to form magnesium oxide. This is again a chemical reaction which can be represented as the following equation. Now here you see that when we balance this, that is magnesium plus oxygen gives us magnesium oxide. So when magnesium is burnt in air to form magnesium oxide, that we denote with an equation here what we have, right? Now as we can make some points, what is a chemical reaction? Look at this. The first point says we can observe or recognize a chemical reaction by observing change in state, color, by evaluation of gas, or by change in temperature. So these are the changes what we can observe during a chemical reaction. So I'll repeat again. It can be change in the state, that is it can change from solid to liquid, liquid to gaseous, or gaseous to liquid itself. Then again we have the color. The color changes from red to black or black to blue depending on the chemical reaction, or sometimes by evolution of gas, or by change in the temperature of the taken solution, right? So these are all the different conditions what from where we can observe the chemical reaction. Now next we have physical state of the reactants and the products are mentioned to make chemical reaction more informative. So when during a reaction what we do, a physical state of the reactant and the product are to be mentioned. Now for example we use the symbol G for gas, L for liquid, S for solid, and AQ for aqueous solutions. So during the chemical reaction we have to mention their physical state. Either they can be a solid, it can be a liquid, it can be a gaseous, or it can be a aqueous solution. Now next we have balanced equation. What do you mean by a balanced equation? So the definition says a balanced equation is one in which the number of atoms on the reactant and the product side are equal, right? So we have an example here which says hydrogen plus oxygen gives us H2O, that is water. How water is formed? By the combination of hydrogen and oxygen molecules we get the water. So how this happens is we have taken H2 hydrogen plus O2 oxygen, we get H2O, but there you see that the total number of atoms on the reactant side and product side are not same. What we do, we need to balance here. Now to balance this, you see here on the reactant side we take it as 2H2. When you take 2H2 there will be 4 hydrogen. The same we have on the product side also, 2H2, 4 hydrogens. Plus oxygen, we have 2 molecules of oxygen here. Then the other on the product side also we have 2 oxygen, which gives us a product. Now here let us define what is balancing an equation. So it says we balance a chemical equation so that the number of atoms of each element involved in the reaction remains the same at the reactant and the product side. That is, when you balance an equation there should be the same number of atoms on the reactant side as well as the product side. For example, we have Fe plus H2O giving us Fe2O3 plus hydrogen, that is ferrous plus water gives us ferric oxide plus hydrogen. Now to balance this, the next equation is the balanced one. When you observe, look at this, we have Fe here, H2O here. When you balance this on the LHS and RHS side, what we do, since we have Fe2O3 here on the product side, we can we also have Fe2, that is 3Fe plus 4H2O is giving us Fe2O3 plus 4H2, that is giving us the gas here. Now here we have the types of reaction. What are the different types of reaction we can have? The first one is combination reaction. The word itself says combining, right? Combination is combining. It says the reaction in which two or more substances combine to form a new single substance, right? We take two products, let it be A and B. When you combine A plus B, you have to get the product, a single product. What you get, for example, we have calcium oxide, or we call it as quicklime, when added with water. Calcium oxide when added with water gives us calcium hydroxide. So here you see that two substances are combining here, that is CaO plus H2O is combining together to give us CaOH2, which is in aqueous solution. Now we can make some points from this, which says CaOH2, which is also called as slake lime, is used for whitewashing walls. So where we used before painting the walls, whitewashing. Now here you see that it reacts with carbon dioxide, as we see in the above equation. Yeah, as we see in the above equation, what is happening now? Calcium hydroxide is formed. Then it reacts with carbon dioxide to form calcium carbonate, and it gives a shiny finish to the walls. Okay, that is, we have another chemical reaction for this, that is calcium hydroxide, CaOH2 combining with carbon dioxide gives us calcium carbonate plus water in the liquid form, that is H2O. So the compound what we are getting is calcium hydroxide is giving us calcium carbonate. Now we have one more chemical reaction, that is when you take with burning of coal. When you take burning of coal, we have carbon plus oxygen gives us carbon dioxide. Also it evaluates heat and light. That is the reaction what we have here. Burning of coal, when you burn a coal, it will be like carbon plus oxide giving us carbon dioxide plus heat and also the light also. Now this third one, we have formation of water. As we have seen in the one of the above example, we had hydrogen plus oxygen combined together gives us two types of H2O. Now next we have exothermic reactions. Now what is an exothermic reaction? Reaction in which heat is released along with formation of products. So a reaction in which heat is released in formation of products, we call it as exothermics. So it's easy to remember, during a reaction when an heat is released, we call it as exothermic reaction. For that we have an example here, that is CH4 with this methane plus oxygen 2O2 gives us carbon dioxide plus water. You see that methane is in gaseous form, oxygen is in gaseous form. When they combine together, they give us carbon dioxide plus water. Now as we learnt about exothermic, next we have endothermic. Now in endothermic says the reaction which requires energy in form of heat. In the exothermic it says what? Releasing of energy, but here it says requirement of energy in form of heat, light or electricity is called endothermic reaction. That is when barium hydroxide reacts with NH4Cl, right, ammonium chloride, we get barium chloride plus ammonium hydroxide is the reaction what we are getting. So in this reaction we actually require energy. What are the energy in form of? It can be heat, light and electricity. We get the solution. Now the next one we have decomposition reaction. Now what is a decomposition reaction? Decomposition reaction is a reaction in which a single substance decomposes to give two or more substances. So this is just opposite to the combination reaction what we had. Combination reaction we have when two substances combine together and give us a single product. Decomposition where we have a single substance which is broken down into two more substances. Now, under this decomposition reaction, we have three types. What is the first one is thermal decomposition reaction. So, what is this thermal decomposition? The word itself says thermal. Thermal is nothing but the heat. When a decomposition reaction is carried out by heating, during the presence of heat, a decomposition what occurs? We call it as thermal decomposition. So here we have many examples what they have given us. So let me take this third example, right? We have lead nitrate, that is PbNO3 2. Lead nitrate, which is white in color, when heat is allowed to pass through that, we get lead oxide plus nitrogen oxide plus oxygen. That is, you see the lead nitrate is in white color, lead oxide nitrogen is in brown color, plus oxygen is a gas which is not visible to us, right? Now next we have one more decomposition, that is electrolytic decomposition. What is electrolytic decomposition is when a decomposition reaction is carried out by electric current. That is, we have hydrogen. When hydrogen pass through electric current, which gives us hydrogen plus oxygen. So this is the diagrammatic representation what they have given us. Now here you can see that, yeah, I think it's visible. Yeah, now you can see that in this you can observe that we have oxygen at one terminal and hydrogen at one terminal. Now this oxygen is connected to anode and here it is connected through cathode, and the switch is connected to the anode, which is also connected to a battery of 6 volt. Here we have the hydrogen connected to through cathode, which is connected to a 6 volt battery again. Now here in this we have solution of water here, which is in a plastic mug. Now what we can observe from this above, this is one of the diagrammatic representation what they had given. Now next we have silver chloride. Now silver chloride gives us silver plus chlorine. When this silver chloride decomposes, which is in white color, gives us silver plus chlorine of gray color. Similarly, silver bromide also we have. Silver bromide is 2AgBr, which gives us 2Ag plus Br2. Now you can see that the above two reactions are used in black and white photography. So in black and white photography they were using the above two chemical reactions. Now next we have the third one, which is the displacement reaction. Now displacement, the word itself, every time from the term itself we can understand what it says. Displacing is displacing an element from its solution, that is throwing out or keeping it away. So here it says the chemical reaction in which an element displaces another element from its solution. For example, we have ferrous, that is Fe, which is in solid state, plus copper sulfate, which is in aqueous state, gives us ferrous sulfate plus copper. Now here you see that iron plus copper sulfate, from where copper is being displaced, that is being kept out, you get ferrous sulfate plus copper. Now next we have the diagrammatic representation what they have given, how this is happening. Now keeping a stand here and taking it to a test tube. You see that the test tube with copper sulfate solution. In this copper sulfate solution we have taken 2 iron nails, test tube, tied through a thread. Now this was the reaction what we have used for the above reaction. We have ferrous being more reactive than copper displaces it from copper sulfate. Since ferrous is more reactive here, it can dominate over the copper and it displaces it from copper sulfate solution. This is one of the reactions what we have. We have zinc plus copper sulfate giving us zinc sulfate plus copper. One more example of displacement. Here again the next one which says Pb, that is lead plus copper chloride. Here copper is being getting displaced again. Since it is less reactive, always the copper gets displaced. So you can see the points they are given. Zinc and lead are more reactive elements than copper. That is the reason they displace copper from its compounds. Next we have double displacement reaction. Now what is this double displacement reaction is? The reaction in which two different atoms or group of atoms are mutually exchanged. Now what is happening here? That is, whatever gets displaced, it gets exchanged with the second compound. For example, we have here sodium sulfate plus barium chloride. When you combine the sodium sulfate plus barium chloride together, we get barium sulfate, that is BaSO4 plus 2NaCl. Now you can see the interchange what is happening here. This sulfate is getting combined with barium, which is giving us barium sulfate, and this chlorine is getting combined with sodium, so that you get sodium chloride. Now from the above equation, what is happening is a white substance is formed due to above reaction. The insoluble substance, that is barium sulfate, is called precipitate. That is what we call it as precipitate here. This is a precipitate what we get here. Now next we have precipitation reaction. What is a precipitation reaction? Any reaction that produces a precipitate is called a precipitation reaction. That's very simple. So any reaction which produces precipitate, we call it as precipitation reaction. For example, we have lead nitrate, that is PbNO3 2 plus potassium iodide, that is 2Ki, gives us lead iodide plus potassium nitrate. Now here you can see that the downward facing arrow represents the formation of precipitate. So which is forming precipitate here? That is lead iodide. Lead iodide is the one which is forming the precipitate. Next one we have oxidation reaction. What is an oxidation reaction? Oxidation is the gain of oxygen or loss of hydrogen. So oxidation can happen in two ways. One can be losing the oxygen gaining the oxygen or losing the hydrogen. So we have an example here. Copper, when combines with oxygen, gives copper oxide. That is, here it is gaining an oxygen here. That is, when copper is heated, a black color appears. If this copper oxide is reacted with hydrogen gas, then again copper becomes brown as reverse reaction takes place. That is, you see that again here what is happening here? Copper oxide plus hydrogen, which is giving us copper plus water itself. So you can again get back the copper itself. So this is about the oxidation reaction. Next we have the reduction. What is reduction? Is just opposite of oxidation. There it was gain of oxygen and loss of hydrogen. Here reduction is the loss of oxygen and gain of hydrogen. Now next we have redox reaction. What is redox reaction? It says again the same thing. The reaction in which one reactant gets oxidized while other gets reduced. One is getting oxidized, the other one is getting reduced. So this is the chart what they have given us. That is, copper oxide plus hydrogen is giving us copper plus water, and that is in reduction what is happening? You are losing an oxygen here. Now in oxidation, what you are doing here? You are gaining a hydrogen here. So this is an example of redox reaction what we had. Now next we have zinc oxide plus carbon gives us zinc plus carbon monoxide. Again magnesium oxide plus 4 times of HCl gives magnesium chloride plus water plus chlorine. Now here we have corrosion. Next we define with corrosion. What is a corrosion? When a metal is attacked by substance around such its moisture, acids, etc., we call it as corrosion. When any material gets attacked by its moisture, right, in the atmosphere or the acids, we call it as corrosion. That is one example. Rusting of iron is also corrosion, where reddish brown coating of iron is formed. You can see that iron, which is like mild black color, gets coated with reddish brown, and one more is black coating on silver. Now silver items, we know, like it will be like very shiny, but due to this corrosion, what happened? There will be a black coating on the silver. Now here next we have rusting of iron can be prevented. How can we prevent this rusting of iron? Is by painting or oiling the surface or by galvanization. So rusting of iron can be prevented by painting, oiling the surface or by galvanization, right? Now here we have next thing is rancidity. What is rancidity? When fats or oils are oxidized, they become rancid and their smell and taste will change. So you get a bad taste or bad smell. So when fats and oils are oxidized, so that is why we need to preserve the fats and oils. When you don't preserve them, they get oxidized and they become rancid, and that is their smell and taste will change. Next we have antioxidants. Why these antioxidants are used? They are used to foods containing fats and oil so that it prevents the oxidation. Now here for example, we add nitrogen to the packet of chips. Why? To prevent oxidation of fats and oils. So now let us recall what you have learnt in today's class, right? The first one, a complete chemical equation represents the reactants, products and their physical states symbolically. This is what you have learned as the first point, right? Any chemical equation, it always denotes what? A reactant, a product and their physical states symbolically. And the second point says a chemical equation is balanced so that the number of atoms of each type involved in a chemical reaction are same on the reactant and product sides of the equation. That is, equations must be always balanced. That is for maintaining a balanced equation. Next one, in a combination reaction, what is happening in a combination reaction? Two substances are combining together to form a single product or a single substance. Combination reaction is combining, right? Combining of two reactants to give it as one single product. Decomposition reaction are just opposite to combination. Combination, you have combining of substances. In decomposition we have decomposition, that is a single product is decomposing into give us two or more substances. Then again exothermic and endothermic, as we had defined. Exothermic is something reactions in which heat is given out along with the products is called exothermic. Endothermic, in which energy is absorbed, that is heat, light and electricity is absorbed, is called as endothermic reactions. Next we have when an element displaces another element from its compound, a displacement reaction occurs. So as I said, whenever one element displaces another element, we call it as displacement reaction. Double displacement is when two different atoms or groups are exchanged in double displacement reaction. That is when they exchange each other. We had seen a reaction where chlorine and hydrogen were exchanged with each other. Now here next we have precipitation reactions produce insoluble salts. So whenever there is a precipitation reaction which produces precipitate, they produce insoluble salt, not soluble salt like NaCl. Then We have reactions also involve the gain or loss of oxygen or hydrogen by substances. So we define two things. One is oxidation, the other one is reduction. What is oxidation? Oxidation is the gain of oxygen or loss of hydrogen. Reduction is opposite, that is the loss of the oxygen or gain of hydrogen. So this is all about the chapter 1 chemical reaction and equations. So thank you. Please subscribe to my channel.